We're going to do a juicy dynamic full body flow tonight, similar to the one we did 2 nights ago. Just because it's Monday, we did restorative last night, we kind of wound down, so now I'm just going to wake you up for the week. We're going to get into our whole bodies. We're going to work out pretty hard, so I hope you haven't eaten a big dinner just before you do this. As always, make sure that you are being mindful of your body. If you have any aches or pains, if anything hurts, if you're feeling sick, if you're tired, if you've got any injuries, just check in with yourself, make sure that you're not pushing yourself. I'd say the same thing to you guys in my physical classes. If at any point something feels bad, pull yourself out, have a drink of water, have a rest. No one knows your body like you do, so only you will know if something isn't right for you. Do as much or as little of the class as you would like. There's no pressure to do the entire thing. I'm going to give you guys options as we go along as well, so if you're more of a beginner, don't worry. If you're more advanced, I'm going to try and think of some horrible things for you to do. What else do I need to say to you before we begin? Just enjoy yourself, and yeah, just be very kind to your bodies and just make sure that you don't do any injuries. So we're going to bring ourselves onto our mats. We'll start in a nice seated position. This is my favourite place to start because we're kind of in the middle, but if it's not what you're feeling today, if you want to start somewhere else, then please do feel free. We do always start with a little bit of seated movement though. If you haven't done one of my classes before, that is where I like to start. I feel like it's a really nice place to be grounded. And we just want to make sure that you've got enough physical space around you to do the class, so you're not going to smash into walls or windows. And just kind of clear that space around you mentally as well. So yoga is such a lovely place to kind of clear our minds. Maybe you guys are feeling a lot of feelings that you haven't felt before, or that are more intense at the moment. Maybe we're feeling frustrated or angry or sad or scared, and they're all very valid feelings. So what we're going to do today is I just want you to validate those feelings and just really feel everything that you're feeling, and just let it kind of flow through you. And we're just going to try and allow our movement and our breath to kind of make us feel better, make us feel more calm, more relaxed. So just bring yourself down onto your mats. Make sure those sit bones are nice and even. You can give yourself a little wiggle around. I like to give myself a little jostle around on the mat just to get rid of any excess bits of energy or static tension that you're feeling. Give yourself a little shake, wiggle that bum around. It's the only time I'm going to tell you it's okay to lift those hips up off the mat. So give yourself a little circle, do whatever feels good here. And then when you feel like you're nice and shaken out, bring yourself onto the mat, palms facing up towards the sky, drop those shoulders down, close your eyes, and inhale, take a nice deep breath in through the nose, expand your abdomen. Send all of that air down towards the bottom of your lungs, filling them like a glass all the way to the top. And as you exhale, reverse your breath and draw your navel in towards your spine. And as you inhale and expand, I want you to feel that air wash through you as though it's cleansing your body. Exhale, reverse the breath, draw the navel in towards the spine. And maybe you want to visualize your lungs as a glass. So we inhale, we're filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Exhale, empty the glass, every last drop leaving your lungs. Focusing on deepening your breath. Using the full capacity of your lungs. Yogic breath is really good for calming our anxieties. It's good for stress, tension, insomnia. And focusing in on that slow, steady rise and fall. As you inhale, start to lengthen up through your spine, but stay grounded on the mat with your sit bones even. So we're grounding but lifting. Inhale, draw your shoulders away from your ears, feel them slide down your back towards the mat. And as you do so, feel that neck grow long. Inhale again. Drawing those shoulders down towards the mat, creating space for the neck to grow. And focusing in on your jaw. Make sure those back teeth are not touching. Dropping that tongue down away from the roof of the mouth. Jaw soft and gentle, unlocked. And release any tension in your facial features. Make sure you're not frowning or holding any tightness here. We tend to hold on to stress in really subtle ways, maybe pulling the shoulders in, maybe clenching our jaw or frowning without even thinking about it. So notice the difference when we just check in, drop the shoulders, unlock the jaw, soften the face. Sit tall, lengthen the spine. Feel yourself grounding into the mat as though your arms are pulling you down. Your back grows taller with every breath. And I want you to start to tune out your outside distractions, thoughts and worries. Forgetting what we did before or have to do after, this is your time to feel those feelings or not, whatever feels good to you. Let's take that imaginary broom and start to sweep our minds completely clear of clutter. Any wandering thoughts or worries that we don't want there, we sweep them away, leaving the mind empty, clean and neutral. And on your next inhale, just draw your chin towards your shoulder. It doesn't matter which one. And gently roll that head all the way from one shoulder to the other, allowing it to become heavy. And just rolling it back and forth. And if you want to progress it into a full neck roll, then please do. And feel how that neck roll really connects to your spine. You can feel it all the way down to the base of your spine. Rolling one way and back the other. Drawing yourself back to center, gentle roll through the shoulders, drawing them up to your ears, down your spine, just giving them a little wake up. Inhale, raise your arms up above your head, interlink the fingers and push the air away, dropping the shoulders down, neck long. Inhale. And keeping your bum cheeks super glued down onto the mat, let's start to lean to the left, stretching the right side of the body. If you would like to take your left hand to your right wrist and just gently pull them, please do. Make sure you keep that bum nice and flat on the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Gently back to center. Let's take a stretch on the other side. So switching hands, your right hand to your left wrist, leaning to the right, a lateral stretch down the left side of our body this time. Inhale. And exhale, leaning neck long, shoulders down. Take a nice deep breath, bring yourself back to center. Drop those hands, bring them in front of you into an all fours position. Drawing that navel in towards the spine. Stack those joints, your wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, spine nice and flat. Imagine that you're a little table. I've put a hot cup of tea on your back and you cannot spill it. We're pushing down into the mat. Push down through the tops of the knees, the tops of the feet. And as you breathe, I want you to imagine that you're almost lifting off the mat. You're pushing down through the palms and the knees. So much energy that you're almost hovering. And if you would like to actually hover here, let's tuck our toes under and gently lift the knees about 5 centimeters off the mat, engaging the core. Inhale. And exhale, hold here, drawing that navel in. Keep the back flat, down the shoulders. You're rotating the shoulders out to the side. Try not to drop them in at the middle. Inhale. Exhale, keep that breath flowing. People tend to hold their breath in these kind of core exercises. Inhale. And exhale, gently drop the knees, and as you do so, drop the navel to the floor, hollow out the lower back, gaze up to the sky into your cow pose. Exhale, doming the shoulders, crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale, dipping that spine, gazing upwards, neck long. Exhale, cat pose. You're like a scared cat, doming those shoulders, arching upwards. And as always, if you would like to continue with this movement, then please do. If you feel like there's more in you, there's a little bit more, you want to get a little bit weird, you want to get your wiggle on, feel free to get into all those nooks and crannies in your body. Freestyle that movement here. Hips, neck, spine, shoulders, arms, whatever needs to be woken up, you take that movement and make it your own. And the wonderful thing about practicing at home is we really can get as weird as you like. So feel free to just do whatever feels good for you. Maybe you want to come all the way back onto your heels and get your neck involved. Maybe you want to push forward into your Cobra. Maybe you want to take a little wrist stretch. Not a very popular one, but I quite like it. And just really, really get into all those little bits of your bodies that you feel like are a little bit dozy. They need to be woken up before we start the proper flow. Take a nice deep breath here. Really, really work it out one more time. And gently bring yourself back to center. And you're going to tuck that right toe under and kick the right leg up behind you. We want a nice bent knee and a flexed right foot. Drawing that navel in towards the spine, back nice and flat. So maybe you're happy here. Maybe you want to trickle those left fingers along the mat. Maybe you want to lift that left arm so you've got opposite leg and opposite arm. And draw that navel in and gaze straight ahead here in a balance. And maybe you want to go further still, reach that left arm behind you and kick the right foot into that left hand. Reaching that leg up behind you, opposite leg stretch. So you're getting into your spine here and your shoulders. Inhale. Find your drishti, a place to rest your gaze, and as you exhale, kick into that hand. Focusing on the balance. Inhale. Well done, lovely. Exhale, whichever version you're in. Inhale. And exhale. Give me one more here. Gently let go, but keep the foot up, the knee bent. Take a nice deep breath. Press down with both palms into the mat. Make sure there's an equal distribution of the weight. Tuck that left toe under, and you're going to push up into a downward facing dog, but a three-legged dog here. So we're going to keep our right foot flexed, our right knee bent. Take a nice deep inhale here. So maybe you're happy here, and maybe you would like to take this a little further, straighten that leg out behind you, full three-legged dog. And maybe you want to open that hip, gaze underneath your right armpit. Drop that right knee behind you. And maybe you're feeling like actually you want to go the whole way over. Drop that right foot over. Bring yourself into your Wild Thing pose. If you have the space or you have it in your practice, don't worry if not. Dropping that right arm back. Make sure you're on the ball of your right foot. Nice deep bend in the spine. Reaching back with that right arm. And whichever version you're in, give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently bringing yourself back. Three-legged dog. So three-legged dog here. We are pushing down through our palms, through the outside of your hands. Rotate the shoulders outwards. We're going to get into our abs. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale. Draw that knee in towards the chest. Bring yourself forward. Exhale back. Three-legged dog. You can straighten the leg here if you'd like to. Inhale. Draw the knee to the outside of your right elbow. Exhale, push back, three-legged dog. Inhale, bring that knee across to the opposite elbow. Exhale, three-legged dog, well done. And again, knee through to your center. Exhale, three-legged, well done, stay with me. Inhale, knee to the outside of the right. Exhale, three-legged dog. Knee comes to the opposite elbow. Exhale, three-legged, once more on this side, knee through to the center. Exhale, three-legged dog. Knee to the outside of the right elbow. Exhale, three-legged. Well done, everybody. Knee comes across to the opposite. Exhale, three-legged dog. Really nice. Take a nice deep inhale here. Draw that knee in towards your chest. Drop that right foot down. Drop the back knee, coming into a low lunge here. Inhale, reach your arms up in line with your ears. And you can sink into that hip. Maybe you're happy here. Maybe you want to take a nice little back bend. Start to gaze up at your palms, drawing your palms together. Drop the shoulders down and start to lean back. Don't put too much pressure on your spine here. You feel like it's not in your practice. Take a nice deep breath. Gently drop both hands down on either side of that front foot. Tuck that left toe under. Push back into a plank position. Nice high plank. Make sure the wrists are under the shoulders. And either pushing straight back up into your downward dog so there are no sit bones up, or you can take a little vinyasa here. Tuck those elbows in. Come down through your chaturanga. Push forward, upward facing dog. And push back. Downward facing dog. So it's your first downward dog of the class, but we're not going to stay here for very long, so we're not going to go into too much detail. Take a nice deep breath, drop those knees back down onto the mat, bring yourself into an all fours position. Take a nice deep breath here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Left foot flex, left toes tucked under. Kick that left leg out behind you, left knee bent, left foot flexed. Take a nice deep breath here. Maybe you're happy here. Maybe you want to trickle those right fingers out in front. Maybe you want to lift the right arm. Maybe you're happy here. Maybe you want to bring that right arm all the way back. Take hold of that left foot and kick that left foot into your right hand, opposite leg stretch. Remember, gazing straight ahead. Find a drishti, a place to rest your gaze. Stop you falling out of the balance. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Really nice, whichever version you're in. Just hold for me. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently let go, but keep that foot flexed, that knee raised. Make sure there's an even distribution of weight between the palms. Tuck that right toe under and push up into your three-legged dog with the knee bent. So maybe you're happy here. Maybe you want to straighten that leg all the way up towards the sky into your three-legged. Maybe you want to open the hip, gaze underneath the left armpit. Make sure those hands have a nice even distribution of weight. And maybe you want to walk the whole way over and bring yourself into your wild thing now. On the left-hand side, on the ball of your left foot, reach back with that left hand. Nice bend in the back. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. 5, 4, whichever version you're in. 3, 2, and 1. Circle back, three-legged dog. So let's get into our abs. Take a nice deep inhale. We're going to draw that knee in towards our chest, bring ourselves full. Exhale back, three-legged dog. Inhale, the knee comes to the left elbow. Exhale back, three-legged dog. Well done. Inhale, the knee to the right elbow. Exhale, three-legged dog. And again, knee to center. Exhale, three-legged. Knee to the left. Exhale, three-legged dog. Knee to the right. Exhale, three-legged. And center. Exhale. And to the left. Exhale. And across to the right. Well done. Exhale. Lovely. Take a nice deep breath. Draw that left knee in. Plant the left foot. Drop the right back leg. Sink into that low lunge on the left-hand side. Make sure that left ankle is underneath the left knee here. Take a deep breath and bring those arms up in line with your ears. Sink into that hip opening. And again, if you want to gaze up at your hands, bring your palms together and start to bring yourself into a back bend, then please do. Take a deep breath. Gently drop those hands down on either side of that front foot. Tuck that right toe under. Lift the right back leg. Push back into your plank position. And remember, you can either push straight up into your downward facing dog or tuck those elbows in, come down through your chaturanga, push forward, upward facing dog, and push back, downward facing. So now downward facing dog, we're really going to focus on what we're doing. So let's start with a bent knee, just because it means we can focus on the rest of our down dog. Pushing into the outside of your palms, your little fingers, turn those elbows out slightly, and really rotate the shoulders outwards. Gazing between your legs or at your belly button, draw that navel in towards your spine. And you want a straight line from your tailbone all the way down to your arms. And if you feel like you've got all of that, you can start to straighten the legs and draw the heels down towards the mat. If your heels don't reach the mat, then don't worry. And if your legs want to stay bent, then don't worry. That's also really nice. I tend to have my knees bent most days in down dog. Take a nice deep breath here. We're going to lift up on our heels. Raise those heels off the mat and exhale lower. This is a really nice stretch for the backs of the calves and the hamstrings. Inhale, lifting. So if you do have tight calves and hamstrings, this is a great one for you. And lower. And continue with that breath, lifting up and lowering down. So down dog is a powerhouse. It really rejuvenates and re-energizes the entire body. Lifting up and lowering. Really nice. One more time, lift and lower. Let's take a little hip twist here. Lift your left foot and just gently draw it in a circle so it comes in front of or behind, depending how you're looking at it, your right foot. And you're just going to gently tip to the right, gaze underneath the left armpit. And feel that stretch down the left side of the body towards the left hip. And then gently circle that left foot back. Take the right foot now, circle it around behind the left. Gaze under the right armpit. Give yourself a little twist. Feel that stretch down the right side of the body. Gently circle back. Take a deep inhale, drop forward into your plank position. Take a nice deep inhale here. Make sure the wrists are under the shoulders. You're going to start to send the knees towards the mat, but don't let them touch. Send the bum back towards the heels. Push up, downward dog. And we're going to take a few of those circles. Inhale, drop forward, plank position. Exhale, start to drop the knees, push the bum back, downward dog. Inhale, we wave forward into our plank. Drop the knees, bum back towards the heels, exhaling into your down dog. And again, waving into your plank position. Drop your knees, bum towards the heels, downward dog. And 3 more of those, plank position. Drop the knees, bums to the heel, downward dog. And 2, wave into your plank, drop your knees, and back. Downward dog, last one. Plank position, drop your knees, bum towards the heels, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. And drop forward into your plank position again. And you are very welcome if you would like to stay in your high plank. If you want to go even deeper, we're going to come down onto our forearms, into our forearm plank, which is really, really good for our core. And we're going to take 5 little pivots here. So you're going to rock on those back toes. So you're going to go 1 and back. Find your edge. 2 and back. 3. You're not imagining it. This is really hard. 4 and 5. Lovely. Start to walk your feet in. If you're in your down dog, if you're in your plank, you're gonna walk into your downward facing dog. Everyone else, we're gonna walk into our dolphin pose. So that's like a forearm down dog. It's like downward dog, but way more intense. You're gonna take a nice deep inhale here. And as we exhale, we're gonna come forward like we're kissing the mat. And back. And forward. And back, well done. Give me 5. And back. 4, this is lovely for the shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Really nice, drop those knees down onto the mat. So you're in a kind of forearm, all fours position. Take a nice deep breath. Send that left arm underneath the right arm. Just thread that needle. Gazing underneath the right armpit, and you're just going to stretch those shoulders out and breathe. The further you reach that left arm underneath the right, the deeper you get into that shoulder stretch. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale, gently pull the left arm out. Come onto your left forearm. Take that right arm and post it underneath the left. Gazing underneath your left arm now. And really trying to reach that right arm all the way through so you can feel that stretch through your shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale, gently bring yourself back to center. Stretch those arms out in front. And you're going to drop that chest to the mat. Bring yourself into your extended puppy pose. So we're just stretching through the abdomen and the chest here. Elongating the backs of the hamstrings. Make sure the feet and knees are parallel like train tracks out behind you. Chest down, bum in the air. Draw that navel in. And if you want to get into your shoulders even more, come up on your fingers like little spiders. And breathe. Gazing straight ahead. Try not to drop that face down into the mat. Feel that pull on the back of your hamstrings. Feel that spine stretching. Shoulders stretching. Chest and abdomen stretching. Take a deep breath. Gently drop the palms and start to pull your chest along the mat. And bring yourself into your Sphinx Pose. You're like one of those little statues in Egypt. Gaze straight ahead here. Your arms, your forearms kind of like they were for Forearm Plank. Dropping those shoulders down, and we're lengthening. So we're stretching our chest and dropping the shoulders down. We're going to get into our lower back as well. And what I want you to do is make sure that you don't forget about the bottom half of your body. So we're going to point our toes so that our knees lift up off the mat, lift up off the mat. And you'll feel that engagement through your legs. So you'll then feel engagement in your butt, in your glutes, in your hamstrings, in your lower back. And that all comes from pointing the toes and engaging, lifting those knees. Gaze straight ahead here. Inhale, nice strong Sphinx Pose. Gently take that right arm out to the side of the mat. So we take the mat out of the equation, and as you do, you're going to roll onto your right side. Drop your right ear to the mat. So we're leaning now on our right side, balancing on our right hip. Bring your left elbow up off the mat and lift up on your left finger, so your fingers are like little spiders. And you're just going to roll into that shoulder, and as you do, bring that left leg out behind you. Just feel that deep shoulder stretch. This is one of the best shoulder openers I've ever found. If it feels a bit intense for you, just bring yourself back into your Sphinx Pose. And if you want to get deeper, bend that left knee. Bring the left foot down on the mat, planting it nice and flat, and really roll into that shoulder opener. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale, gently roll yourself back into your Sphinx position. Push down through those forearms, point those toes, engaging, feel that engagement in your legs, your butts, your glutes, your hamstrings, your lower back, your shoulders, your chest. Inhale. Take that left arm out to the side. Now roll onto your left hip, drop the left ear to the mat. Come up on your right fingers, balancing on that hip bone. You're just going to send that right leg out behind you and roll deeper into the shoulder. And if you want to, you can bring that right foot flat, bend the right knee, and really roll onto that shoulder, feeling it open even more. Inhale, breathing here. And exhale. And inhale. One more breath. Gently bring yourself back to center, back into your Sphinx Pose. If you would like to go a little bit deeper, you can come up into your Cobra, bringing your hands in a little further and lifting a little more so you get a deeper bend in the back. Make sure you're pointing those toes. And if you want, you can hold here. If you want a bit of movement, we're going to inhale, drop our torso down onto the mat. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale. And keep that going. And if you want to as well, you can use no hands, or you can use no hands. You can take your hands out of the equation. You can lift and lower. You might not get as high, but you'll work that spine. And lower. Give me one more here. And lower. Drop the hands down. Lift your head and chest. We're going to take our Locust Pose, which is a really, really nice one for strengthening your spine, your legs, and your arms. Gaze straight ahead. Bring your arms out behind you. So maybe you're happy just lifting the head, the neck, the chest, and the arms today. And maybe you want to add your legs in as well. Make sure those feet stay nice and aligned. You're balancing on those hip bones. So if you are pregnant, please avoid this one. Take a nice deep breath here. Really, really feel that stretch through your shoulders and your spine. This is good for shoulder opening. It's good for lower back pain release. Take one more deep breath. And gently let go. Drop that left ear to the mat. Gaze to the right. And drop the right ear to the mat. Gaze to the left. After you do intense back bends, you might feel that your heart is beating a little faster. So we just breathe and release to just bring it back. Bring yourself back to center. Place your palms in front of you on the mat. Take a deep inhale. We're going to push up into our upward facing dog. Gazing straight ahead. Make sure the tops of the feet are down on the mat. And as you exhale, tuck those toes under. Pushing into your downward facing. Remember all those points that we practiced before. Take a nice deep breath here. Inhale, we're going to send that right leg all the way up behind us, three-legged dog, and then pass that right knee forward towards our chest. Plant the right knee, come into your lunge position. Coming up on your left foot, make sure the right ankle is underneath the right knee. Arms in line with your ears. Make sure that your hips are under your shoulders. Try not to lean forward. Inhale here, exhale, sit into that front knee bend. Make sure that your knee does not go further than your ankle. Take a deep breath, turn that left foot out, come into your warrior two, tuck the tailbone under, gaze down those front fingertips. And I'm just going to change sides so that you can see what I'm doing. And as usual, I'm cutting my head off. Take a nice deep inhale here. Sit into that front knee bend, start to lean forward, turn that right palm upwards, and then lean all the way back. Send the left arm down the back of the left leg, right arm up and over into your reverse warrior. And if you'd like to take your half bind, take your left arm and bring it all the way around to touch your right thigh. Inhale. Well done, lovely. Sitting into that front knee bend. Take a deep breath here. Gently unravel the arms back to your warrior two. Lean forward, turn the palms outwards and bring yourself into your triangle pose with the bent knee. Arms open, make sure those shoulders are stacked on top of each other. What I mean by that is that your arms not falling forward or above your head. You want to make sure they're on top of each other. And if you're not happy here, if you'd like to pull it out a little bit, bring your right forearm onto your right thigh and your left arm up and over into your extended side angle, making sure it's a straight line from your left foot all the way up to your left fingertips. And make sure you're not just hanging out at the pub. You want to still be lifting up through your chest. Anyone that wants to go further than their triangle, you can take your bind, right arm underneath the right leg, left arm over the top, opening up that chest. And hold here, lovely. Really nice, everyone. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale, everyone start to straight that front leg. If you're in a bind, you'll now be in a straight leg bind. If you have your arms open, you'll now be in your triangle pose. If you're holding your bind, gently let go, bring yourself into your triangle. So your extended triangle pose, I want you to imagine that you've been put in a toaster. So you're nice and aligned, you're squashed between two panes of glass. So if you cannot bring your right hand down to meet your right ankle, don't worry. You can bring it up. As long as you're nice and aligned, your hips are aligned, it doesn't matter where you are. What I want you to imagine, and you can do this actually if you're near a wall, is to push yourself up against a wall. You want to be lying completely flat against it. So we're going to take our left hand now into the small of our back and just gently push our hips into alignment. And if you feel a little bit uncomfortable in this pose, it probably means you're doing it right. It's not the most comfortable of poses. Gazing up at that extended arm if you can. Take a nice deep breath. And gently bring yourself back up to standing. Keep both legs nice and straight. Bring your fingers and thumbs onto your hip bones and steer yourself to face the front. And here you can step that back foot in slightly, so your feet are about 1 meter to 1.5 meters apart. Fingers and thumbs on your hips, and I'm just going to move back so that I'm not cutting my head off. Fingers and thumbs on your hip bones, gaze straight ahead. Make sure that the shoulders are above your hips here, and we're going to start to pivot forward into our pyramid pose. Keep both legs nice and straight, and make sure you're not dumping all of your weight into your front leg. Both legs want an equal distribution of weight. Keep those hips nice and aligned as you bring yourself forward, trying to keep the spine flat. Maybe you want to stop here. Maybe you want to start to bring the hands down onto your calf, your ankle, on either side of your front foot. Try and keep that spine as flat as possible as you inhale. And exhale, folding nice and deep. Feel that pull on the back of your hamstrings. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale, really, really feel that deep stretch. And then gently step that left foot forward to meet the right. Bringing yourself into your Uttanasana, forward fold, slight bend in the knees. Take hold of your elbows and just gently sway from side to side here. And then very gently, you're going to bring that right hand in front of your right foot, straighten that right leg. You're going to bend the right leg, straighten the left leg, and reach up with your left arm, giving yourself a little opener. So right leg is bent, left leg is straight, left arm open. Take a nice deep breath, drop that left hand down, bend the left knee, straight the right leg, open that right arm out to the side, inhale. Drop back down, same thing again, bend the right knee, straight the left leg, open that left arm. Well done, lovely. And again, drop that left hand, bend the left knee, straight the right leg, open that right arm. Opening your chest to the right, take a nice deep breath here. Drop both hands down and step back into your downward facing dog. Walking the feet out here. Well done, lovely everybody. Take a nice deep breath, send that left leg all the way back behind you, and then drawing that left knee in to meet your chest. Plant the left foot, come up into your lunge on the left hand side. Make sure that your hips are underneath your shoulders, your knee is above your ankle. Take a nice deep breath here. Sit into that front knee bend, drop the shoulders down. And as you inhale, open those arms, turn the right foot out, warrior two. Arms in line with your shoulders, tuck your tailbone under, inhale. Exhale, start to lean forward, turn that left palm out, bring the right hand down the back of the right leg, and then bring that left arm up and over, reverse your warrior. And if you want to take a half bind, bring that right arm all the way around to touch your left thigh, inhale. And exhale, sitting nice and deep. Well done, lovely. Take a deep breath, unravel, bring yourself back to your warrior two. Turn both palms outwards, pivot forward, bring yourself into your triangle. Trying to gaze up at that extended arm. If this isn't in your practice, feel free to bring your left arm onto your left thigh, your right arm up and over into your extended side angle. Keep that chest open, not hanging out of the pub. And if you want to take your bind, left arm comes underneath the left leg, right arm over the top. And breathe. And whichever version you're in, take a deep breath. Straighten that front leg. And if you want to, you can open those arms, bring yourself into your triangle pose. So remember, we're stacked into a toaster. We want to make sure our hips are completely aligned. You're squashed between two panes of glass. You can take your right hand if you want to push it in to the small of your back. Just make sure those hips are nice and aligned. Reaching up with that right arm. Make sure the shoulders are stacked on top of each other, gazing up at that extended arm. Well done, lovely. Breathe here. Gently bring yourself back to standing. Bring your finger and thumb on to your hip bones. Steer those hips to the front. And if you need to step that back foot in a little bit, then please do. Make sure those hips are under the shoulders, and we're going to start to pivot forward into our pyramid pose, keeping our spine flat. Make sure that those hips stay nice and even. Try not to lean to the side. However tempting it might be, make sure there's an equal distribution of weight between the legs. And if you want to, you can bring your hands down on either side of that front foot. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, starting to glue yourself down, torso to thigh, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Take a nice deep breath. Really get nice and deep into that hamstring stretch. Place your palms flat, bend that front knee, and step back into your downward facing dog. Walk your feet out here. Drop your knees down onto the mat. And we're going to take a little camel pose, a nice little back bend to kind of bring us down onto the mat. So you're going to bring yourself into a kneeling position. So your knees want to be about hip width apart with your feet and knees parallel like train tracks out behind you. Bring your hands into the small of your back. So camel is quite an intense back bend and it's quite an emotional one as well. So if at any point you feel like you need to come out of the stretch, just come out the way you came back in and take your child's pose on the mat, heels together, knees apart. Bringing the palms into the small of your back. And gaze up towards the sky, and you're going to start to gaze backwards. And as you do, push those hips forward. Feel your head falling back, and maybe you're happy here, maybe this is as far as we go. And maybe you want to drop your hands back onto your ankles, and as you do push those hips forward, you want to make your body a kind of D shape. And remember, at any point, if you feel like you need to pull yourself out, then do. Push those hips forward, inhale. Gently start to walk those hands into the small of your back, bringing yourself upright. Drop your bum back onto your heels and walk the hands forward. Taking your child's pose. Bringing your forehead down onto the mat. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Gently start to walk those hands back into an upright position. We're going to bring ourselves into a seated position on our mat. So plant your feet, bend your knees, take a nice deep breath here. Bring your arms out on either side. We're going to take our boat pose. So option one for boat pose, you're going to bring your legs into a tabletop position. Balance on those sit bones, and you can bring your arms out to help steady you. Make sure you keep that back nice and straight. Maybe you want to take the arms off the mat and just balance on those sit bones. And maybe you feel like you want to try straight the legs. So you might shake a little bit here, engage that core, make sure that back stays nice and straight. Lovely. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow motion, we're going to start to drop down. Really slow, straightening the body. Really, really slow. Peel that spine down onto the mat. Float your legs, gaze at your toes. We're going to bring ourselves into our dish pose, which is a good one for our abs. Gazing at your toes, float those feet about 10 centimeters off the mat. Lifting your shoulders and head and engage. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently let go. Bring yourself down onto your mat. And just draw your feet into a tabletop position again. So you're pushing your spine down into the mat. And just give yourself a little rock here to just massage the spine. Before we drop both knees all the way over to the right and gaze to the left. So just notice this is our first twist that we've done with the class. So twists are really, really lovely, and usually we would do a few more of them. What they do is they compress our organs. So we're releasing any toxins from our blood, and when we release the twist, fresh blood flows through the organs. So we always look in the opposite direction of our legs. And just enjoy that feeling of the spine twisting. And then gently bring yourself back to center, drop those knees over to the right and gaze to the left. And then gently bring yourself back to center. Take your right knee in towards your chest and straighten that left leg out. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, pull that knee in tighter. And then gently drop that knee open to the side, pushing down on your left hip bone with your left hand. And if you want to as well, you can straighten out that leg, take hold of your right foot with your right hand. Try and keep that spine nice and flat. And then gently drop that right leg down, draw the left knee in towards you, inhale to lengthen, feel that spine pushing down into the mat, inhale. And exhale. Push down with your right hand on your right hip bone, drop that left knee open. And if you want to take hold of your left big toe and straighten that left leg out, then please do. Keeping that spine nice and flat, pushing down on that right hip bone. Gently bring yourself back to center. Bring your knees bent again and just gently windscreen wipe those legs, giving yourself a little release in the spine. And then we're going to straighten ourselves out. Point your fingers, point your toes, bring your arms above your head. Full body stretch. You guys know the drill by now. Reaching from one side of the room to the other. Imagine someone's got you by the fingers, someone's got you by the toes. You can't get away. You're being pulled from one side of the room to the other. And you want tension in every single part of your body. Your body should be shaking from the tension of this stretch. I want tension everywhere, including your face. So everything I've told you not to do throughout the class, do it now. Draw those shoulders in, disappear your neck, double chins, make the ugliest face you've ever made in your life. Screw up those eyes, beady eyes, tiny nose, tiny mouth, really, really reaching. Fingernails and toenails almost being pulled off from the stretch. There's so much tension. And while we're here putting all our physical tension into the stretch, let's throw all the mental tension in as well. Take everything that's been pissing you off, everything that's annoying you, everything that's stressing you out. Let's throw it all in. Make a big old tension bomb. Pour it all into this stretch. It should be almost excruciating how much you're stretching right now. Keep stretching, pour more and more tension into that body, into that mind. Stretch, stretch, stretch. We're going to make a big old tension bomb. We're going to let it all out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5. And 1. Let go. Bring those arms down by your side. Feet fall open, melt into your mat and breathe. Inhale. And exhale. So now is the time if you want to grab a glass of water, a blanket, a jumper, a pair of socks. If you need to dim your lights, then please do. I'm going to bring myself up to seated so that I can talk to you guys. But I fully recommend that you guys take your Shavasana sitting, lying down. It is really, really juicy to take a nice little 5-minute relaxation lying on your mats after a deep stretch like that. So when you're ready, just bring yourself down onto your mats. If I do have any pregnant ladies with me today, please make sure that you've either got a cushion propping up your head and your shoulders, or you're taking your Shavasana lying on your left-hand side with a cushion between your knees. Right, so we're going to bring ourselves down on the mats. Close your eyes. Feet falling open. Palms facing up towards the sky. Take a nice deep inhale and feel yourself drawing down into the mat. Melting into the mat as though you're becoming one with the ground. Let's take ourselves back to where we were at the beginning of the class. Taking that imaginary broom and sweeping the mind free of thoughts and worries that are wandering. Free of clutter. Leaving our mind like an empty room, calm and neutral. Allowing only our breath to run in and out of it. And feeling each inhale rush through your body as though it's cleansing you. Inhale, we expand, we fill our lungs all the way to the top. Exhale, we reverse the breath, draw the navel in towards the spine. And always deepening our breath, maybe pausing for a second at the top. Just checking in with those tension points. Shoulders away from the ears, allowing the neck to grow long. Facial features soft and gentle. Jaw unlocked, teeth not touching. And drawing our tongues down away from the roof of our mouths. And as you lay here, take your attention towards your feet, feeling them fall open, toes relaxing one by one. Your ankles, your calves, your knees and your thighs fall open as though the batteries have been taken out of you. All the way up to the base of your spine and feeling each vertebrae melt down into the mat one by one. As though someone is pressing down the keys on a piano. All the way up to your shoulders and feeling those shoulders melt down away from your ears. Gliding down your spine, melting into the mat like lava. Leaving that neck long. Softening the face, the jaw, head light and empty. Arms lightweight at your sides. Palms open and each finger unraveling one by one. And finally take your attention to your chest and your abdomen. Allow the breath to flow through you. And as it does, it undoes any knots, any tension, any tightness. Leaving you calm and relaxed. Focusing only on that slow and steady rise and fall, that rhythm of your breath. Guiding your body, guiding your mind. And allow yourself this time to just really melt into the mat, melt away, free of thoughts, worries, responsibilities. Take this time only for you as you inhale and exhale. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes to draw awareness back into your body. Hug your knees in towards your chest and gently rock from side to side, releasing that spine on the mat. Bringing yourself over into a fetal position. Keeping your eyes closed as you bring yourself up to seated on your mat, placing those palms on your knees. And take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, deep sigh, letting everything go. And again, inhale. Exhale. And one more time, inhale. And exhale, biggest sigh. Blink your eyes open, palms together at your heart center. Thank you all, as always, so much for practicing with me this evening. It's always such a delight. We do have a list of things that you guys want to practice, which I am going to get round to. I haven't over the last couple of days, but we are going to go through all of the things that you guys want to do. As always, if you do have any ideas of things you would like to practice, pop a comment on Zoom or on Facebook. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your evening. Stay happy.